He's from SABRIC, a financial association in South Africa, and he's going to present about what's happening in South Africa. Dana, the floor is yours. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you can click over to the next slide. Just a brief background. I'm Dana Vermaak. I am from South Africa, so welcome to all the participants right across the world, and also to my guests from South Africa as well. I saw a few log onto this chat. So I work for SABRIC. It's the South African Bank Risk Information Center. We're located in Gauteng in South Africa, for those that know where Gauteng is. And I'm going to give you an overview of, firstly, what cybercrimes we see here, the most prominent ones, and then secondly, what are we as SABRIC and the industry doing on those. Can you go on to the next slide, please? Okay, sorry. Next slide. This is just a disclaimer stating that all the information is shared and it's private and all those nice kind of things. Okay, so fraud on all channels. That would now be fraud on the internet banking channel, the app banking channel. So that's the applications you download from either Android phones or iPhones. And then the third one is then mobile banking fraud. That would be USSD. We type in the short codes to perpetrate the fraud. So as you can see here, it is from January 2020 up until the end of 2021. During April of 2020, we all know what happened then. COVID started, and the cyber criminals also went to bed for that period. But since June, July of 2020, it started increasing, and you can only see till December, but there's a continuous increase, even sharper than previously. Okay, can you move over to the next slide? Thank you. So this is banking app fraud. The most prominent modus operandi here, way of doing it, is vishing. So that would be voice phishing. A potential client bank client would get a telephone call from a fraudster, perpetrating that he is phoning from the bank's call center. And then what he'll do is to basically enhance the idea of him being from the bank's call center. He would indicate to the to the potential victim that put the phone down, call the call center number you have from your bank, and then obviously the client calls and he gets to his own call center. Then the fraudster phones back, and basically client thinks he's talking to the call center. So that's basically social engineering. And then what they would do is they would obtain confidential information from the bank client. And also part of that is what we in South Africa call one-time PINs, OTPs, or random verification numbers. They would obtain those, and then the fraud will be perpetrated. Can you move over to the next slide, please? Okay, internet banking fraud. So that is fraud perpetrated using the client's own internet banking profile, where he logs on with his www.banksname.co.za. And similar modus operandi here, but in this instance, phishing is mostly used as a method of obtaining credentials. So the client would click on a link in a phishing email, take him to a website, and then obviously compromises his detail. What I can mention here that I didn't mention on the previous slide is vishing is also used to obtain client credentials for perpetrating card fraud. So the card number, the CVV number, the expiry date, all of that information, similar method of doing it, is also used to obtain credentials for that. Okay, so here you can also see it looks like it's dropping down in December, but as indicated, it's moving up substantially in the next period from December onwards up until now. Can you move over to the next screen? Okay, I'm going to start talking on the next screen. What happened here is, as you can see here in this instance, SMS phishing text messages are sent by the fraudster, also requesting the bank client to click on the link in the SMS that then takes them to a website on their phone that they then perpetrate the fraud, or ask them then to call a certain number, and then the fraudster perpetrates the fraud from there onwards. As you can see here, fraud was quite high from 2020, dropped down from January, February, March of last year. The reason for that is some of the banks implemented certain software that made it difficult for the fraudsters to perpetrate their fraud on this channel. As I mentioned just now, it is also the USSD channel. And now the next slide would say thank you, but I wanted to show you an additional slide that I didn't originally include, is what we are doing as SABRIC and the financial industry. So there are 5 things that we focus on. One is information exchange, the cooperation between its members, the regulators, and law enforcement. So that's the first thing, because if you have the information, then it's an important first step in being able to stop frauds from taking place. The second one is stakeholder engagement. By that we mean engagement with law enforcement, the judicial system, and so forth, to also assist them in curbing, investigating the frauds. There we also have a cyber forensic analysis center at our office that does cyber forensics on mobile phones and computers and obtains relevant credentials that could then be forwarded to law enforcement to assist them in their investigation. So that's prosecution and investigation support. Then we also have beneficial stakeholder relationships. That's basically optimizing economies of effort. Instead of various entities doing similar things to combat social engineering frauds, we basically stand together, get the groupings together, and that's where SABRIC facilitates and work as one. Then collaborative partnerships here, each initiative led by government, academia, and non-profit organizations, including SAMLIT. And SAMLIT is what I can call our poster child. It is what SAMLIT was brought together by our Financial Intelligence Center, 22 national and international banks, South African Reserve Bank, Prudential Authority, and then also our Banking Association, and then SABRIC. Yes.
My apologies, but we're running out of time. Would you mind concluding your presentation?
Okay, if you give me another minute, I'll be finished. Okay. Then the second last thing we also do is training capacity building. That's specifically for law enforcement, the National Prosecuting Authority, and then also the banking industry. And then we also have awareness campaigns that would now be on TV, radio, social media channels, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And what we do there is we also get public that has been affected by these crimes to basically speak up and warn other people not to become victims of that crime. Okay, thanks a lot. If I may, any questions?